Hello ladies and gents, and welcome to week 4 of our English 410 class. This week is our final week of April. We're already through April. That just seems crazy. The spring is just going so fast. So let's take a look at what we're working on this week. We're going to start working on our conceptual model analysis, and that assignment is going to be due on Sunday, as all of our major ones are. So I'll give you some details on this, and then we'll talk about one of the discussion boards in the middle of the week. So the conceptual model analysis is worth 60 points, and this assignment is based on some information presented in a really excellent article called Developing and Validating a Quantitative Measure of Organizational Courage. Now that title doesn't make it sound like a super interesting article, but it actually is, because these authors are talking about how people function within the workplace and how they go about resolving issues, how they address administration, how they work up the courage or the gumption or the grit or whatever they need in order to be successful in a variety of challenging workplace scenarios. So a really interesting article, and it provides us with some conceptual models that we can then analyze, because in our major project for the quarter, the MIR, you will be creating your own conceptual model and providing some analysis within that document. So it's good to kind of build the groundwork here. All of our assignments throughout this term are going to be building blocks that are going to give us all the pieces we need, so that by the time we get to the MIR, that big cumulative thing that we're doing at the end of the quarter, it won't be so daunting, because we'll have done each of those individual pieces already. So when it comes time to collate them all and create something with a cohesive topic, you will have the groundwork that you need to be successful. So this conceptual model is one of those pieces of the MIR that I hope you'll find very helpful. So as we take a look at this, this is a multi-part project. So part 1 is the message to the board of directors. Henry Kissinger, and if you need to know who he is, you can click the link here, said that understanding the true nature of a state is the hardest thing to do. And so we are going to try and help our audience understand the true nature of something, and it is a conceptual model. So assume you're presenting an accurate description of your company, whatever company you want that to be, you can make it up, to the board of directors and a handful of investors who may have concerns about your company's latest quarterly performance. Your company can be the one you're working for now if you want. You can make one up if you want. You can be talking about your company and give it a different name if you want. Anything you want. And then we will be talking about this conceptual model here. So in 2 or 3 paragraphs, explain what this conceptual model means to your audience in relation to your business. Explain why the company fits that particular use. Identify a specific problem, use your imagination, and recommend one or more solutions based on the article we just read. And make sure you stress a significant and memorable point to your decision-making audience. When we think in terms of presentations, it's very important to leave them with something powerful, something memorable, something that they can hold on to and chew on in their brain for a little while, because that's what they're going to take away. They're not going to remember everything you said. So what's the most important thing you want them to remember? Make that significant and memorable at the end. And then part 2, you're going to create your own conceptual model. So now it's your turn. You can use the Smart Art feature in Microsoft Word. I've got a link for you here, or any other graphics application that you're comfortable with, to create a conceptual model that illustrates at least 4 distinct concepts, interrelationship phases, or elements. And it needs to illustrate at least one of the following topics. Cyber threat awareness, intergenerational conflict, leveraging interdependence among divisions of labor, managing ethnocentrism, mentorship, teamwork, training, trust. All of these are very common problems in the business sector. So how would your company go about addressing one of these problems? And how would we create a conceptual model to help people understand our plan to address the problem? So you can do some research in CBC's databases to find more information on the topic. And if you find an awesome diagram or graphic, don't copy it. Use it as inspiration perhaps, but don't copy it. Adapt it to how you need to use it. But if you are adapting something that someone else has already created, you do need to make sure to cite it in APA format. And then below your own conceptual model, write about 5 to 8 sentences that interpret the model for your reader. Tell me how it works. Tell me what you would want an audience to take away from it, and use the APA template to go about doing that as well. So that's your assignment. It's a 2-part assignment. Very fun. Looking forward to seeing what you guys create. As with most of our assignments, we do have a rubric so you can see how things come together and how points are going to be calculated for this assignment. If we go back to our calendar, most of our time this week is going to be spent working on this conceptual model. So you're going to be working on it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You've got a discussion board. We'll be working on this is worth 40 points. And we will be working with that same article. So this is kind of some groundwork that will help us build to Sunday's assignment. And what you're going to be doing here is responding about this graphic here, taken from the article by Kilman, O'Hara, and Strauss. So read the article, linked for you here. You're going to have to read it anyway for Sunday, so you might as well get a head start. So read Kilman, O'Hara, and Strauss's descriptions of the 4 types of organizations shown in Figure 1. Here's Figure 1. In a paragraph of 6 to 8 sentences, describe a personal experience you had working at a company that matches one of these 4 types. Where did you work? What was your job title? Which department or level? Use the terms and interplay between the x-axis, which is courage, and the y-axis, which is fear. So here's fear, here's courage. As an alternative, you can describe an experience serving in a charitable philanthropic setting or community service, volunteer work you've done, in any of, if you worked or volunteered at a place that fits in any of these categories, you can use that for this assignment. You don't have to give the real name of the business if you want. You can make something up, but use a real experience if you can, as it makes it easier for us to retain this information and then apply it elsewhere if we're able to make those personal connections. So that's what you're going to be doing. Finally, you are going to reply to a peer because it is a discussion board. So read through all of the responses, choose one you can empathize with or might have more knowledge about. You can affirm or elaborate on a shared experience, and you can use some ideas from Kilman, O'Hara, and Strauss to think about ways that an organization might benefit or grow. So that is going to be our discussion board on Wednesday, and then we've got the big assignment on Sunday, and that pretty much rounds out our week. If you have any questions, as always, reach out. I'm here to help. I'm excited to see what kind of graphics you guys create and how you go about expanding on those ideas in your paragraphs of analysis. Have a great week, guys. Reach out with any questions.